Thank you for joining me this evening here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
So, you are the director and creator of the documentary entitled uh, Seder Mania, which is about a fan named Chris. He idolized Hulk Hogan, and there's a huge story behind these two men that led to a friendship, and it portrayed Hogan in a new light that a lot of people have never had a chance to see. So, that being said, Adam, talk about working on this documentary and exactly how did it all came about.
Well, I mean, the story itself is, it's a pretty amazing story. I mean, how many times do you hear uh, of a fan, let alone a super fan, becoming best friends with their childhood idol? And that's pretty much what happened here. And the road that Chris took, or the journey that both of them took, was a pretty crazy one. It was a roller coaster for sure, and they definitely went through a lot of ups and downs and pretty intense moments, and you know they were there for each other, and it's just a pretty amazing dynamic when you think about it. Like I said, having a lifelong fan becoming best friends with his idol. So that in of itself was pretty cool to be able to tell, because as far as I know, there really isn't anything out there like that. So I was pretty, I guess, blessed to be able to have the opportunity to tell this story, because one like this has never really been told.
Wrestlers, just like any other entertainers, they can have impact on people's lives. I mean, whether you're a music artist, whether you are a an actor or actresses, comedian, they found ways to make impacts on people's lives that makes them feel relatable. Like I relate to you. Like I understand how you where you come from and how much you had to go through to get to where you are. And I mean, we're not just talking about any wrestler here. We're talking about Hulk Hogan. We're talking about a guy who turned wrestling into a pop culture phenomenon. And this guy Chris. It's one thing to for this guy to Hulk Hogan to want to talk to you, sign autographs, take pictures, but for him to be considered as a friend for this guy who has got millions of fans all over the world to consider a guy like Chris a friend, I mean that's a that's a powerful thing. That's beyond what fans would expect. Not everybody gets to be Hulk Hogan's friend. Not everybody gets to wake up in the morning and say, "Wow, I'm friends with Hulk Hogan." But that has to be a powerful thing, don't you think?
No, I definitely think so, and that was one of the main things that attracted me to the story, um, is the fact that someone like Hulk Hogan let his guard down and let a fan into his inner circle. And from Chris's perspective, it's someone that he looked up to his entire life, and was a source of inspiration to I guess live a better life. So it's it's like a fairy tale. It's something that you can't even write. It's just pretty amazing how everything came together, and it was really interesting to be able to tell that story, because, like I said, the journey itself was pretty intense. Chris traveled around the country for quite some time to see Hogan in all the different cities and different matches that he was having. So from town to town, Hogan would begin to recognize him, and they slowly began to get closer and closer. And, that turned into more of a friendship. And then, like I mentioned before, they both went through some pretty tough times, and they were there for each other. The first situation was when Hogan's father passed, and Chris actually quit his job so that he could be there and watch over Hogan's dad while Hogan was on the road. And Chris was there when Hogan's dad died. And, vice versa, when Chris's father died, Chris took it pretty hard, and Hogan was there for him. So, I mean, it goes beyond just like, hey, this is my, buddy fan that followed me around for 10, 15. When I say best friends, I mean, they are best friends. I mean, I'm not, blowing it out of proportion because it's what the movie's about. I mean, these guys are family.
That's powerful. And it just shows is this is beyond wrestling. This is a real legitimate friendship between these two, and I'm definitely looking forward to get a chance to check this documentary out. Again, it is called Mania,
Mhm.
and people can check it out. When it can people can check it out? Is it gonna be on films? Is it gonna be online? Like exactly where and how can people check out Mania?
Right now, I mean, it's available on the website, SaterMania.com. So you could stream it for $2.99. You'll have access to it for 3 days, or you could download it for $9.99. And then hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have some DVDs, and hopefully within 6 to 12 months we'll be on all the traditional platforms like Netflix, iTunes, things like that. We do have high hopes for the movie. We had a pretty solid festival run, and we're hoping to get it out there into the public because we do think that, or I think that it's, number one, I think it's going to be something that wrestling fans are going to really enjoy. But I think because the story is much more about friendship and being there for each other, it has some mainstream potential. So I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, you can definitely see it on SaterMania.com.
SaterMania.com is the website. Go check it out online for the time being, and like Adam said, within next several months down the road, be available on DVD and Blu-ray, etc. I gotta say, man, this documentary and just hearing you talk about it is definitely very compelling, and it's deep, and it shows Hulk Hogan, not thinking about, you think about celebrities, Adam. Sometimes the fame can get the best of people, and Hulk Hogan, I mean, I'm sure there comes times that he don't know who to trust and who not to trust. But to get the trust from a guy who started as a fan and now become a friend, and just being there for one another. I mean, celebrities at times have to be careful who they trust and who don't they trust, and because they can come back to hunt them. You know what I mean? And it's just wow, man. This Chris Sater dude. I mean, props to him, and props to Hulk as well. And like, this is a very compelling. There's just no other way to describe this. If Ebert and Robert was checking this out, they would be saying 2 thumbs up. I will say that right now. So, what else you have in the works outside of Mania? You got any more films or documentaries you working on?
Right now I'm just focusing on distributing Mania. It took me, I started this in 2008. And, I finished it a couple of years ago. I had some issues with getting funding to cover like music licensing rights and things like that. But I finally got everything wrapped up about a month or two ago. And I really want to just focus all my attention on, getting the film out there, because I do think it's going to surprise a lot of people. And I have a passion for wrestling. I definitely want to do more wrestling related projects, and I'm hoping that this kind of paves the way and gives me an opportunity to show wrestling fans that there are other obviously there's a whole independent scene, but outside of like WWE and TNA, that there are other ways to get wrestling content and good wrestling content. And that's what I hope to accomplish in the next couple of years. But for now, in the short term, I'm definitely going to focus my attention on getting the movie out there and getting as many eyes on it as possible, because I think it's a story that needs to be shared. It's something that I think, especially for the wrestling community, should be shared, because a lot of people are passionate about wrestling, just like Crusader is, and I think it's a way for people to live vicariously through him and almost get a feeling of what it was like to become friends with Hulk. So yeah, I'm just excited to share it, so I'm focusing my attention on that right now.